I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Sorry, we haven't seen much of each other. I've been playing more chess.
I have a whole bunch of stuff to describe that is not politics related at all.
My chess rating's at 800 now.
800? That sounds great. So what's this program you're using?
Chess.com.
And are they owned by a company we should know about?
They're owned by chess.com.
Is that something I can buy?
I have no idea. But they've been growing really well lately.
Yeah, chess is a big thing.
Yeah, because COVID, it's like the perfect storm of people started streaming more and more chess, and then COVID hit, and so now everyone is like, oh, well, I guess I'll play chess because it's free on the internet.
I've been playing stock market.
Stock market is like chess.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the
Call Girls Investment Club podcast.
Lots of Tesla information I have to share.
Oh boy, did it go?
Thinking.
Is it going up like we predicted?
Okay, last week I talked about Starbucks and Tesla, didn't I? Do you remember me
Yeah,
talking
you
about
talked
Starbucks
about
and
Starbucks
Tesla?
and Tesla last week.
Let's get Starbucks out of the way. So Starbucks, I told a Wednesday was going to be their investor day.
Right.
And I predicted it would go way up. Well, I didn't have the patience to hang in there, and I got out of Starbucks because I wanted to go all in on Tesla.
Okay.
So I missed this. Do you see that? Do you see that line?
That's a pretty big line.
Yeah. You know when that happened? Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
Cool.
5%.
How did Tesla do?
Oh, you're changing the subject. You could say I was right.
You were totally right.
And
you
I did not capitalize on it.
Congratulations.
I just did Tesla.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so Tesla. Okay, so last week we were talking about how Tesla's joining the S&P, right?
Right.
And the S&P has a whole bunch of index funds trading on the S&P. So when they're added, all these index funds have to add Tesla stock and get rid of whatever's being gotten rid of.
Right.
And get rid of a few shares of everything else they hold to make room for Tesla.
Right.
So all weekend I was wondering, when are these index funds going to buy these shares? Because Tesla was like going up. But I thought, is it just going to go consistently up until the date? The date is the 21st. It's a Monday of December when they're going to be added. Then I wondered, so the first thing I did is I researched the Nasdaq edition when they got added to the Nasdaq. I looked at all the prices when they were added to the Nasdaq on a certain date. And the prices went up, and then the week before they were added, they kind of went flat. And then the day they were added to the Nasdaq, they started going up for 3 days. And then that was the peak.
That sounds about right.
So I thought, well, maybe these index funds are not allowed to buy the stock until the date of the addition into whatever index it is.
And
so,
I also think it's important to note that it went up for days afterwards because...
you know how there's that 3 days that big companies buy over the course of 3 days?
Right.
So then I started wondering, well, what do their prospectuses say about when they can buy? Oh, we're going to have a visitor.
I don't think we'll have a visitor. I think she's interested in something else.
So I asked, I thought, okay, I'll ask in the Tesla chat groups in Facebook. Here's our visitor. What should I put in the background, by the way?
This time let's do Rainbow Road from Mario Kart.
Will do. That's very optimistic. So I put it out there. I put it out in my club. I put it out in the Tesla Investment Club, which I kind of hate that club because they are very like know-it-all and they say a bunch of stuff that they don't really know.
They're a bunch of Redditors.
But they all came back with all these ideas. So in the Tesla Club, one person said, and he sounded really authoritative. He was saying 3 days before and 3 days after. Then there was a guy in my club who said 5 days before. So I kind of believe the guy in my club a little more. I also asked, can they buy it a week in advance? Can they buy it 2 weeks in advance? And pretty much the answer I got back from these people who sounded like they were brokers or new brokers was no, they can't. They can only buy it according to their charter. So like if their charter says 3 days before, that's when they buy it, or 5 days before.
Right.
So the 5 day before point will be Monday. So it's been kind of a rough week on Tesla. If I could get the cat off of it. Where's the list?
The cat's dragging the stock down.
Dang it.
You know, if you turned your headphone volume up, you'd be able to hear all my great jokes.
No, I think it's more a mental issue.
Well, I think that
when I edit, I hear your great jokes. And
Okay.
then I'm like appalled at my rudeness for ignoring them during the podcast. This is Tesla the week since we last spoke.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's kind of flat. So for a couple days it was going up, and I was doing all this research, and I thought, I just got a vibe. Something's going to drag it down before then. Someone has an issue with it. Someone wants it to go down, but who could that be, you know? So I thought, okay, do these index funds have any kind of interest in driving the stock down beforehand? No. It doesn't matter to them. It's not their money. They're just buying in proportion to whatever it is. They're not making money on that or losing money on that. But on the side, they could like trade some options or something to make a little profit off of it.
Right.
So I thought of two instances where the stock would go down. One is share sales. So on Monday, I posted in my club, the one thing I think might happen is they might sell some shares, but I'm not too worried about it because I feel like these quote-unquote Robinhood investors are still going to buy it and not really care about that. And also the pressure of the billions of dollars that have to be invested in it are going to counteract that.
Right.
So guess what happened on Wednesday?
On Wednesday, it went,
They announced they're going to sell some shares.
Starbucks go up, Tesla go down.
So Wednesday, they said they were going to sell $5 billion worth of shares. Okay, well, the math I did on how many billions... Actually, I didn't do this math. I got this from another party. It's supposed to be $80 billion worth of stock that's purchased over that 3 to 6 day period. And $5 billion versus $80 billion is nothing.
Right.
And then also, since the article came out that said it was $80 billion worth of stock that needed to be purchased, the stock increased in value another 33%. So it's really more like $100 billion worth they have to buy now.
Right.
So I figured, okay, $5 billion versus $100 billion, I really don't see that affecting it. So the other thing that happened Wednesday, JP Morgan came out with a recommendation on Tesla, and they said it was worth $90 a share. It's way overvalued. They have a point it's way overvalued, but that's irrelevant to what's about going to happen.
Right.
These people are like trying to drive it down just before this purchasing happens.
Right.
Why would they do that?
Right.
So turns out why they would do that. They have a huge short interest in it. They have a bunch of bets against Tesla, and Tesla just keeps going up, and they have to get out before these big purchases are made or they're going to get screwed. So they needed to sort of drive the stock down with this fake news, get out, and then they wouldn't lose as much.
Right.
So that's what they were trying to do. Look how long it lasted.
Not very long.
Like 1 day. And now it's kind of flat, bumping along. This is the same thing that happened before Tesla got added to the Nasdaq. Because when Tesla got added to the Nasdaq, everybody got really excited about it. It was announced 9 months in advance, and it just kept climbing. And then the week before, everybody was done buying it. They were waiting. They're just sitting there waiting.
Right.
So the people who were going to buy it bought it. But if the guy who said 5 days is correct, then on Monday it should start going up with all the purchasing. Also, Tesla said they were going to sell $5 billion worth of shares. They already did that. They did it all on Wednesday. It's already done.
Cool.
So I'm talking about supply and demand of stock, right? So the sales of the stock drove it down. Now there's no more selling to be done from Tesla. Ton of buying to be done.
Yeah.
There's one other bit of research I did. I was just there's multiple pieces of research I did on Tesla. This is the short interest. You know, people were making the case that a lot of people are shorting the stock still. They expect it to go down. And I thought, that can't be right, you know? So I looked it up, and the number of shares being shorted is pretty consistent here. The short volume, it's the same number of shares. But it actually is a much smaller amount of short interest now than it was. Look how it went from 30, short volume ratio went from 30 all the way down to 17.
Right.
So the point I made to my group is that the short interest is declining rapidly leading into this event.
Right. That makes a lot of sense because the amount goes up.
It's because of the price.
Because of the price, but
yeah, like when
people are still shorting it at lesser and lesser ratios. So.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So what this means is even if the number of shares shorted is still the same, but the value of the shares shorted is.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before.
You know, I don't even know what my point was on this.
Okay.
It was a really good point at the time, but it was so long ago. You know, a week is too long for me. I'm doing the day trading, you know.
Right.
Okay, so JP Morgan wrote this piece. It's way overvalued. All those shares got sold by Elon Musk the same day.
Right.
Stock went down. Next morning, stock was down like 5%.
Because Elon knows it's overpriced, and he's like, okay, I'm going to sell while
he's going to collect more money, yeah. It's smart because he can just expand his company faster.
Right.
So this is the next morning. It's down like 5%, 4.96%. It opened here. And, you know, you're faced with a decision on a morning like that. Do I sell it? Am I going to lose my money? And all I could think is, no, it's just too easy. It's too obvious. They have to buy so many shares. It's got to go up. That's got to be the pressure. And I don't think people will be that spooked. So just with this little 1 minute, 2 minutes in, I already could see it starting to trend up. And I'm like, you know, JP Morgan is probably going to get out of their short positions right here, which means they're going to sell all their bets against Tesla, which is going to drive the price up of Tesla.
Right.
And sure enough, throughout the day, it went up from there. It went all the way, recovered the 5% it was down, and ended positive. So another thing somebody brought up is one of the founders, one of the first people involved in Tesla, sold almost all her stock this week on Monday. That's always a bad sign. So I looked at it, and it has a little... I looked at it to try to understand it. I feel like if you look at something long enough, you can understand it, right? So I'm staring at this, and it's like, that looks bad. Am I doing... You know, all this time, all week, I'm like, am I doing the wrong thing? This is so obvious, but there's got to be a catch, right?
Right.
There's no such thing as a sure thing, is there?
Right.
So I'm like questioning myself. So I'm looking at this. The footnote on the all these sales is number 1 here. I can't read it. It's tiny. But basically what it says is this is part of a pre-planned sale that was set in motion like 6 months ago.
Oh.
So she said, I'm going to sell my options when they come to fruition in 6 months. I'm going to sell them at that market price on that date.
Right.
So that's what she did.
She probably made a lot of money out of it.
Yeah. So again, I'm like researching everything as best I can. I'm no expert on everything, you know. I'm pretty good, but so here's the thing. Tesla's like a sure thing, right?
Right.
But I've seen sure things in the past, and what happens is you question. This is like the psychological problem here.
Don't question it.
You question and question like there's no such thing as a sure thing. But there are sure things. There are many sure things. And then you're like buying them and waiting and wondering, why doesn't everyone see this? So the last time this happened to me was there was a housing crisis and there were all these bad loans on all this real estate. And it was everybody's going bankrupt who's lending this money. So there's this company called Countrywide that had these loans that were bad loans and they were going to go bankrupt. So the government steps in and guarantees the loans and makes sure everybody knows these are gonna survive. It'll be fine. You know, the government meddled basically with the market. So basically I keep saying basically. So these loans on these houses were in this fund, this bond fund, had zero risk. Basically, They had zero risk.
Basically.
Basically.
You know what? I can't think of a joke. I'm trying to think of a joke involving a baseball stadium. Would you describe it as the opposite of acidly? The delay on your reaction.
I actually listened, though. I did listen to you.
The delay on your reaction.
So there were these countrywide loans that were worthless, and the government guaranteed them. So
Right.
they were trading, this fund was trading at $15 a share. Because of the crisis, the shares went down to $3. And they were guaranteed by the government. So really, they should still be worth the $15. So I bought tons of them. I went all in on it. And I'm like, I don't understand why no one else is doing this. And they paid dividends. They paid returns. When they were trading for $15, they were paying returns of something like 5%. When they got down to $3, the dividends became worth 25%. So I got the return of the value going back up to $15, and I got paid 25% a year interest plus that change in value.
Right.
So that was a sure thing, and no one else saw it. And I was like, I don't understand why no one else saw it. But that happens. I think people can see a sure thing and just say, well, that can't be true, or I don't know.
I think you might be onto something. I think that there are some things where people are like, well, there's no such thing as a guaranteed bet. And I think people looked at that and they thought, well, yeah, but like, what if people are like, well, the stock was still really crappily managed, and that like the government bailing them out shouldn't make the stock go up.
Yeah, but the thing in this case was they bought those loans after the government guaranteed them.
Right.
So I don't know. Okay, so it's very possible I'm missing something on this Tesla thing. So I posted in the Tesla site.
I don't think you're missing anything.
I posted in the Tesla site. I was looking for other people to give me validation or something. I was like, okay, so you guys are saying that these funds have not even done their purchasing yet? And they're like, yeah. And they're all talking about, well, it's going to go up to 1,000. It's going to go up to 700. You have all these opinions, but
right.
I didn't see anyone in there with a valid reason why it wouldn't go up. I couldn't think of any reason why it wouldn't go up. So actually this week I'm kind of like even. I actually am down slightly.
But I think you're going to go up if you stick with Tesla.
I'm just holding it. I'm totally in it. 100%. I don't know if I'm screwed or...
Stick with it.
I just think all next week.
Before, when I said it was going to go down, I was right. Now I'm saying it's going to go up.
Well, there's this other thing, and that is the stock market as a whole could crash. But I feel like if the stock market's crashing, everyone's going to look at everything else declining. Actually, it will crash because people are going to have to sell all these other shares. But yeah, I feel like they'll just go into Tesla. Why not just go into Tesla?
As soon as the 3 days are out, get out.
Yeah, the third day I'm selling.
Third day, get out of the stock market for a bit and cool off.
Hopefully it'll go that way. I don't know.
This is basically like a bomb, and you got to ride the shockwave out, like at the end of Sonic 06.
You got to surf it out.
The only good part in that entire game is the end. You pull up the end of Sonic's story, Sonic 06, and put it on the screen where he's reaching up to the cliff, and then he falls, and then the explosion shockwave knocks him back up. The only good part of that entire game is that part right there. And you're looking at it on screen right there.
Maybe right here.
Oh, gosh.
You're challenging me. I don't know how to use this editing program and put that in. I just know how to do the green screen and a couple quick snips. Fix the sound.
Anyways, that's you, basically.
Okay, so you're going to have to send me that clip.
Okay, I will.
Oh, there's one other weird thing that happened.
What?
Early in the week, the stock went down and the options went up. Stock was going down, and my options all were increasing in value, and I thought, okay, so this means that people believe in this theory. This was at the beginning of Monday. So what happens when people buy options? It actually forces the stock to go up. Did you know that? Because the companies that sell the options have to have stock to cover.
Right.
So kind of the more people buy these options, the more they increase in value, the more people buy stock to cover it.
Right.
So you can kind of almost predict the future with options.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to try to predict the future. I predict the future. Here's me predicting the future. Learn Chinese.
I don't want to learn Chinese. I want to
either.
learn Japanese.
Don't want to learn
Japanese is cool. You know what I've realized recently? I think the resurgence of VTubers has led to me interpreting Japanese accents as being more cute than I used to.
What's a VTubers?
Yeah, where they have a 3D model of an anime girl like hooked up to their camera so that when they move, the 3D model moves.
Do guys do this?
Mostly Japanese girls, because there's like this company thing called HoloLive that's been doing it a lot.
Oh my God, you're blowing my mind. So they can live through their, what do you call them? What did James Cameron call it in that? Avatars.
Avatars, yeah, and they're like, basically they're doing live streams and stuff, but it's like wrestling, where they're a mix of like a character and also the person behind the character, sort of.
So it gives them some anonymity.
Yes, definitely.
And they can keep their private life separate from...
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
But I just thought it was interesting because I was playing Cyberpunk and I got to a point where there was like a receptionist with a heavy Japanese accent, and I was like, "Oh, that accent is cute." And then I was like, I never realized that before I didn't used to think of like a very heavy Japanese accent as being cute, but now I do.
Maybe you're going to get a Japanese wife.
Probably.
I have two other little things about... one of our friends, remember Dylan came in and was our special guest?
Yeah.
He's been telling me about Rite-Aid and how it goes up and down in this range. And he kept telling me, it's going to go up to 20. It's going to go up to 20. He told me that right about here. This is a 3-month chart. Look boy,
it's going up to 20.
And then I think he was on our show and I told him, well, I'd sell it or something. He says I told him to sell it.
Oh, no.
And he keeps texting me now all the time. If I would have not sold it, I would have been...
so right. He knew what he was doing, and you did.
I don't remember telling him to sell it.
I don't remember you telling him to sell it either. I don't know.
I think he might have asked me. I might have told him something, but...
Maybe in private.
The problem is, he thought it was going to go to 20. He's like, I could have turned $38 into $3,000 or something. And I'm like, I wish he had. And he kept calling me. Like, he called me here and here and here. And it just kept going up. And I'm just like, this particular day, it went up 10% right there.
That's a lot.
Like, damn it. Okay, there's one other thing I want to mention, and that is totally almost not related to stocks, just in the world. I saw this. It's an article. It says, water futures start trading amid growing concerns of scarcity. So, actually... these water futures that are trading on the futures exchange are California water futures. They illustrated it with a picture of a lady from India drinking out of the back of a truck. That's so... I guess they were really desperate for a picture.
Yeah, that seems kind of misleading.
It's totally misleading. It's California water futures. But you know how we drive from the south to the north and we always see these huge, desolate, dead tree farms, and there's signs saying politicians destroyed these trees or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But
I've drinking water from some weird places in my time.
Well, why are you saying that?
Like, I don't know.
I thought you meant that was misleading.
If you're thirsty and you see a water truck, you go up and you say, you know what?
I'm
not
the
drink
point.
Some of this.
My point is that's a lady in India.
Like, you go up to the driver and you go, hey, is this clean?
You're totally missing my point. The point
How
is
do you know that
from
picture
India.
wasn't taken in California?
I really don't.
It looks like it was. Look at all the people in the background and the trees.
That's an Indian.
Yeah, but this looks like California to me.
Have you ever seen anyone that looks like that in California?
Yeah. There was a girl in my elementary school who I had a crush on who looked just like that.
Did she drink out of the back of a water truck?
No. But I'm saying it's not that unusual of a thing to do.
I think it is.
I don't know. I think that if you were really thirsty and there were no water fountains around and you see a water
That's
truck...
probably
and
a toxic waste truck.
You go up to the driver and you're like, hey, is the water in this truck clean? And he goes, yeah,
No.
mind if I get just a quick sip?
You just
and
go
if
into
he's really
Walmart.
nice, he tells you,
No,
yeah.
you just go into Walmart and push on the water fountain button.
I don't... What if there's no Walmart nearby?
Then you're not in America. You're in India. Okay. Do you have any experiences this week with your trading? Did you do any trading?
I invested in Tesla.
I am
at the
so
start.
sorry. I was just like yelling at you, buy Tesla. And then I yelled at him in the car, what? You didn't buy options?
I couldn't buy options. I don't know how. I have to. You know what? I'll set it up. I'll set it up and I'll learn how to.
You could switch it to options this week. If
Yeah,
you
I
want.
could because it's this. So I've been thinking about switching over from my initial investment, which was just stock, to options, and
Your stock's gone nowhere. It went up and it went down.
yeah.
Right?
So I'm thinking I'm just gonna scroll all the way up to the cheapest one.
Well, to tell the
The
truth.
horrified look on your face.
Okay, to tell the truth though.
But to tell the truth, but
Okay, no. I bought mostly options at the current strike price that was current, which was $650, which is kind of high now.
right.
So now I'm a little worried about them. But then I had like $900 left, and they're like, okay, what can I buy for $900? And I bought a $750 strike price option. And then I still had like $90 left, and I'm like, okay, what can I buy with this last $90?
Just go.
And I bought
to
a $1,000 option. My point was,
Well, that's a smart. I was just thinking about that this whole
well,
time.
what I was going to do is sell it early before the expiration date. But now the clock's been ticking for a week, and I'm like, okay.
It's gonna surge as soon as they start buying. When do they start buying?
I hope it surges. I just hope.
Once they
Monday
start
or
buying.
Wednesday?
Monday or which one comes? Which one is when they?
Which
actually
one comes
start?
first? Monday comes before Wednesday.
So wait, it's Monday, and then for the next 3 days they're buying.
It would either be Monday for the next 5 days till Friday, plus 3 days the following week, ending on the 23rd, and the 24th is Christmas Eve.
Oh, you mean they start?
I
3
am
days
hoping
before.
for a Christmas gift this year.
They start 3 days before the listed date.
Supposedly, but from
Okay.
the people I randomly am listening to, I
Who
could have.
knows?
Okay, so the right way to do this would be to try to get a prospectus from these companies, like one of these companies that has an ETF, and actually read their prospectus. But I don't know how many pages that's going to be, and that's just one company. And so I thought, there's brokers out there who know this off the top of their head. That's why I asked all these people.
Right.
I have like several hundred followers in our group, and then I went to the Tesla Club that has thousands of people in there.
Are your strike prices the like high ones that you invested in? Are they set for the date? on the point?
24th.
When is that relative to when they start buying?
It's after the third day after. It's the fourth day after.
Perfect.
I'm hoping. I thought it was perfect at the time.
That'll probably be work really well.
Okay, so I will show you how to. I showed you last time how
You
to.
showed me how to, but
So
I
we'll
still
sit together
have to,
and do it.
Not tonight.
If you want.
Not tonight.
Yeah,
but tomorrow,
you can't do it today.
Tomorrow I'm gonna look it up and try and set it up myself.
Yeah. So if you put the order through when the market's closed.
Well, no, I don't want to trade it. I just want to sign up for it so that I can do it in the app.
Oh, do you not have the option trading thing yet?
No.
Oh, we have to do that for you.
Forgot to do that.
Yeah, so we have to do that over the weekend.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do.
And hope to God I'm right.
I think you're right.
You could lose everything.
I think that the $90 of the top ones you made are going to make you more money than any of the other ones.
Okay, there was a really weird day where the $1,000 one was up and everything else was way, way down. And the $1,000 one doubled.
Mm-hmm.
So I doubled my $90.
Oh, nice.
I'm so proud of myself. So there's that. Any other ideas about stock trading this week?
Buy gold. And
Because
by
of
that,
politics?
I mean, how's Bitcoin?
Oh, it was way down.
Oh, I figured.
It was in the 1700s. It's 17,000s. Let's look it up.
Yeah, because didn't it, like, wasn't it like right at the point where it had also like at the peak for where it had been of all time? Bitcoin down again.
Oh, it's back again.
Let's see the one.
Okay, it went down to 17 or whatever.
Look at the all-time chart. I want to see the all-time.
Here's 5 years.
Oh.
It's way up there still, according to 5 years. But that's not showing you this recent movement.
No, that's actually pretty good.
See, there's the recent movement. I went down to 3 months. So it went down here, went up there, went down, and then it's starting to go up again. But it was like yesterday, it was 17 something.
Yeah, I think this is maybe the peak. I don't know.
Yeah, it's sort of like bouncing. Okay, here's another thing. When Tesla went down, when they were making the stock sales, and when they got destroyed by J.P. Morgan, they never went down much past 600. And that used to be the ceiling. Now it's the floor.
Right.
So it keeps bouncing off that.
Right.
So that also gives me hope that it doesn't really have a psychological means of going lower, and it's got a lot of catalysts for going higher. I think I'm right.
I think you're absolutely right.
God, I hope I'm right.
I think we'll have to see. Will it start by the end of next week?
We'll know next podcast whether I was right.
Okay, then. Can't wait.
Anyway, yeah, we'll see you then.
I genuinely can't wait. I think you're going to make a lot.
Oh, my God, I feel sick.
Okay.
Okay, see you next time.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Meet us next episode to see if we have $0 or 10 million.
Or millions.
Okay, bye.
Bye.